Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to learn a lot about organizing from my friend here, Laura Batista. She's going to share with us all of her knowledge about organization and just in our house, in our business, everywhere. And she's going to tell us a little bit about that. We're going to make a drink called Peachy Keen. So I'm sure that it's going to be a great drink, and we're going to have her test it. But tell me how long you've been doing this.
Well, I've just started my business officially this year, but for most of my adult life, I've always been asked by friends and family to help organize or help them pack up and move from one home to the next. And so I decided, I was been an executive assistant for my career, so there's a lot of keeping track of things and appointments and scheduling, and so I decided that it was time to step down from that, take a little break. So I did some traveling and saw friends and family, and I decided that it's time to start my organizing business. And so I am helping people with their homes, with their businesses, as well as finances in the sense of creating a budget or how to, pay your debt off. So it's really important to, just help people to really focus on the important things in their life and not on things, and find out what their hobbies are, what they want to experience in their life. Life is too short to be surrounded by stuff, and so I think by helping them reduce their clutter or what's been weighing heavily on them, that's what I'm here to do, is to help them out. And then once they feel that transformation from start to finish, it's really amazing to see and watch, and then they realize, I hear this all the time, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah, and clutter can, not only the clutter around you, but it can clutter your brain too.
Yes.
And you don't have like a good clean slate to start off with. I like to always clean my desk off before I leave in the morning and at night, so when I come in, it's not such a mess.
I'm the same way. I agree with you. I think you are mentally cluttered. You have so many things on your brain that you need to start dumping some of it. Otherwise, you're gonna just shut down. You're just not going to be progressing on the other things, and so you get stuck. And so I'm here to unstuck us.
Yeah, and like we make jewelry here, so you can imagine how many components, things that we have, so we have to keep them all organized and stuff. But even when I'm making jewelry, I'll take a whole bunch of stuff out, and then when it gets to be too much stuff out, I can't think of what I'm actually designing and making, so I have to start putting things back so that I can think clearer,
Right.
So I really find that to be a big deal. Of the clutter is a big deal to me. But at home, I mean, you can only do so much because you're not by yourself. If you live alone, it's a whole different situation. But when you have a family, when you have children, or if you live with your parents, you can only control so much of it. So what's your advice to people that live with other people that want to have some sort of organization? How do you get everyone in your household on board?
Well, I think it's important to have a plan, and I also want to remind everybody that we're all different. We all organize differently, we all think differently, we all have a different pace of how to reduce clutter, and how we all have our own different systems. So I want people to understand that, if I'm going to help you with any type of organizing, that I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to see how you think and how you're going to be able to find things your way. It's not cookie cutter. It's not how I want you to do it. It's how are you going to be able to find that file? How are you going to find it in your brain? That's where I'm going to find it. It doesn't matter if I put it in alphabetical order, but you want it categorized. So it depends on each person. With a family, it can be a little difficult, but I think what's really good is having the common areas. That should be rules for everybody. These are the common areas. This is the way it's going to be. Now, what you do in your room or your bathroom, you have a little more flexibility, but I think it's also a chance to learn about each other too. Even though you've got mom and dad and you've got siblings, I find in my family, I'm very different from all my brothers.
Yes.
Similar in some situations, but we all think very differently.
No, and most of us, are not the same. So
No.
even our spouses, you can pick somebody that's completely opposite of you. You
Right.
don't necessarily, think the same way about how to have your house.
Right.
And what's clutter to some people might not be clutter to others.
Right, for others it might be, I'm really comfortable. I feel great having this huge library of books around me, where somebody else thinks, oh my goodness, there are so many books here, I need to get rid of them or donate them. And so we all, again, think differently on how to do it. But I think if you sit down as a family and you talk about it, you communicate, you'll find some good solutions. It may not be all of your solutions, it may not be all their solutions, but at least you can come up with some type of plan.
But the goal should really be, especially in a business, that if you're more organized, then you're going to actually function better. You're going to have more productivity.
Yes.
You're not going to spend all the time looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
So for those reasons, even in a house, if you're not looking for things all the time, think of all the time that you're saving, not looking for things.
Yeah, you're actually bringing more value to yourself by knowing where things are. So if you're spending 10-15 minutes a day looking for your keys, looking for your phone, looking for your wallet. I know there's something funny out there right now, like where are my keys, phone, and wallet? But
It's what I say to my husband every time, every day.
So you have a place for them. Like, for example, I have my keys. I actually have a key hanger inside my closet door, the pantry right when I walk in. So my keys get hung up there every single time. Now, you have to create that habit. So you have to do it every single time. So if you're like, where are my keys? Oh, that's where they are now.
Right. But you don't have to look for them when you're leaving. You're not going.
You just pick them up and go. And if you
Mm-hmm.
take the time to put them away every day, then you're just going to grab and go instead of looking, 5 minutes. You could have been with a client for 5 minutes. So now you can't charge that client for 5 minutes because you just ran around looking for your keys.
Right.
So creating
or
habits.
being late to work, or being late to an appointment, or any of those
being stuck
things.
in traffic. I mean, living in LA, we know 5 minutes, 10 minutes is
Makes
a huge difference if you don't leave on time, because then you're going to get stuck in that traffic. So,
but you're right. It is. You can't just say you're going to put your keys there. You have to literally do it for a certain amount of time, so that it becomes part of your life, and then you'll be able to find things easier.
Absolutely. So that's important, is creating those habits. Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about like when you go to someone's, let's say you go to a business, do the people that have the business tell you exactly what they want to do? Or do you come in there and do you visually look and say, I could organize this way, and then you work about their personalities? Which way does it more?
Basically, I'll get a phone call saying, we need help. I'm like, okay, well, what do you need help with exactly? So what I do is I go to the business and do a consultation, and we walk through the space, and we just go room by room, and I take notes, and I listen to them, and I take pictures for reference, and to see what's going on. And then at that point, they've told me what they want to do to get organized, and then we sit down and we come up with a plan together, or I present a plan, and then we just go at it. The next session we get together, and I can work with them or I can work alone. It just depends on what they want to do. So, for example, I worked for a local coffee shop, and they had limited storage space. And so when I went in, it was just very busy. And so they were just putting, the cups and the lids and everything just in the storage room. But when I came in there, I said, okay, what's the flow of the restaurant? What's the flow of you grabbing it? So put all the cups, on this shelf, put all the lids on this shelf, put the bags and the napkins on this shelf. So when you walk in there, you're grabbing and you know where it is. And then again, creating that habit, when that new inventory comes in, you put the stuff in the same spot every single time, and then the staff knows what they're low on inventory, and they're not ordering 5 extra of something that they already knew they had,
Exactly.
because otherwise you have too much inventory and then you have no space. And so it worked out really well. We just did room by room, and it's flowing really nicely now.
And that's what we do here too. We, we have we use boxes and packaging stuff, and we same thing. When we get it in, we put it where it goes so that we know exactly how much of what we have before we're reordering, and it makes it a lot better financially. It's a lot better for a business as well, because you're not ordering more things than you need.
Right. And same with that example with the business. I not only talked to the operations person, but I also spoke with the staff. I think it's really important to speak with the people that are actually behind the counter and, interacting with the customers and what their flow is to get things done. So I think from top to bottom, you need to speak with everybody so that everyone's on the same page and everybody's communicating and just making it go as smoothly as possible.
So important.
It is.
So important. Do we have any questions yet?
Yes. Would you ever write a book or start a show like Marie Kondo?
Ooh.
I say yes to everything. So, yeah, I would love to do that. If the opportunity presented itself, I would do it. I think we're always, not we, me, it took me a very long time to get to this point, and we were just talking a little bit earlier about the word fear, and I saw something online that said fear, face everything and rise. So my new mantra is whenever I feel fearful about something, that I'm just going to go ahead and do it, because we also learn from our mistakes. There's always lessons to be learned. And I would be willing to write a book. I'm actually going to start a blog on my website. So I will have some things that I want to talk about. And also to let you know that it's also coming from a personal point of view too. Organizing for somebody at home, a lost parent, a lost spouse, helping friends whose parents passed away suddenly and now they have this house full of stuff that they don't know what to do. I've had personal experiences, so I can share these things with you, and you're going to realize that you're not alone with the feelings and the emotions, and hopefully I can help you plan for your future. Should you be an adult person like myself who has older parent, or to help plan, because these moments are going to happen. We're all going to move on from Earth someday, and to take that burden off your children, and to and also you can make it a good time processing memories, but letting them know you're going to have this, or who wants this, so when that time comes, you're grieving a loved one, but then you're trying to clean everything out at the same time. It's just too much. So I think by planning ahead would ease that for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Any other?
And then what are your rates?
I'm an hourly rate, so it's a minimum of 4 hours, and my rate is $50 an hour.
And do you ever travel outside of California or the U.S. to work?
She just did.
I did. I just returned from Connecticut. So it was a referral from a friend of mine. Her father had passed away last year, and her mom has decided to sell the home, which was full of memories, 50 years of being in this home. So it was a basement, an attic, first, second floor, and a garage. So I just spent 10 days in Connecticut, and really great client, and we completed the assignment, and now she's ready to start her next chapter and put the house up for sale. So yes, I do travel outside of the Los Angeles area.
And then, do you think that organized chaos is a myth?
Organized.
Very good question. That's like me saying about what someone's clutter isn't, it might be too much for one person,
Right.
but the other person might think that that's no clutter at all.
Right. I mean,
So I guess it's a personal.
I think it's a personal thing. I think it's your character, it's your personality. I've worked with clients where I've helped them, and I felt like I didn't get enough done for them, but by the end of the session, they were so happy. And so for some, just clearing a little corner is they're happy, you know, and others who could want me to clear out the whole area with them, you know, there's just different results. And so, as I said, I don't put pressure on people. I don't push them. A little gentle prodding here and there, but we can only do as much as they want to do.
But by them even reaching out and calling you, they're ready to do something.
Absolutely.
So I think for you, that phone call to you is just, you know, the beginning.
That's a huge step.
Yes.
Huge
It's
step.
a huge step to going to do it.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing.
They've been thinking about it.
Right, and it's just one step at a time. And I think with anything, it's it's a working relationship. So, you know, I think being gentle and kind throughout the process, I'm really good at that. You know, I really do listen to my clients. I really want them to be successful. You know, that's what we want at the end of the day. We want them to be successful. So that's what I hope to bring to all of you.
Any others?
We have more.
Okay.
First of all, are you a Marie Kondo fan?
You know, I received a book. I borrowed it. Actually, one of my former colleagues, she gave me the book to borrow. And I like the book because you get a lot of tips. You know, I do things a little bit differently. You know, but I like her idea. I think, again, you take any path that you want, and you're going to get the same end result. So it was good for reference. And but again, the way I organize and me talking to the client, I'm going to do what is best for the client.
Okay. So my next question, it's also halfway my own personal question. The question says, my roommates are incredibly messy. What's the best way to get started on living a better, more organized life so our households are more harmonious? / my question was going to be, what are some good ground common rules for a shared space?
Well, I think, again, the common areas, you've got to respect each other in the common areas. So again, I think we sit down as a group and you talk about the points that you need to address, the points that are bothering you. And you write it down as a group, and then you come up with a plan. And I know this sounds crazy, but some people need signs. I mean, in the workplace, I'm sure some people, you know, your mother doesn't work here, clean your dishes and put them in the dishwasher. So I think the same applies to living with roommates. You have ground rules, and if that means printing them up and posting them up on the wall and then gently reminding each other, hey, you know, not like, oh, you know, point out that one particular person, but just say, you know, hey group, I found these dishes in the sink. It's a reminder that we decided, we made a decision that those need to go in the dishwasher. So I think sitting down, coming up with the common ground rules, and then again, creating those habits. It's not going to happen overnight.
Plus, I think if you live with roommates and you had the place first, and then roommates came in after, or roommates changed, then that makes it much more difficult because you're already used to it a certain way. And let's say you're the clean one and organized one, but you got a roommate that wasn't. It's going to be harder to get them to conform to what you were already used to. But dishes is like the biggest thing.
Yes.
Because some people might think, well, I'll get it later. I'm still going to wash it. But then let's say you're home before them and you want to cook, and now there's a whole pile of dishes in the sink and you can't really cook because you got to get those dishes out of your way first, you know? So then you're stuck doing someone else's dishes. So what's the answer to me is whatever dish you use, you get rid of it as soon as you're done, you know?
And I think
make that time to do it.
And I think if you are having new roommates leave and new ones come in, at that point when they're signing that lease, you say, and here are the ground rules, have a contract. Make the ground rules and say, you're gonna, you know, we've all signed this, or we can sign it all together again. These are the rules. So it protects you and it holds them accountable.
It's like boundaries.
It is boundaries, yes.
But sharing the common space is, you know, you've got to be respectful of each other.
Absolutely.
Have to be. And you just can't assume that you're going to get the dishes later when you get home, you know.
No more questions.
We'll come back to some more questions. in the meantime, I'm going to start making the drink. And today, because we had a huge heat wave. I don't know if you were here for it or were you still in Connecticut?
Good.
Yeah, we all of a sudden went from like 69 degrees to 83, and that was hard.
Yes.
And now we're back to 70 or whatever.
Yes.
So we're kind of getting geared up for summer. It is the middle of June, and before we know it, it's going to be 80, 90 degrees here. So I thought what we could highlight today was anklets. Sorry, I dropped one. So we have here some anklets that we're showcasing today. And they're just fun pieces to wear. You can, these are kind of fun to go to the beach with because you're wearing a bathing suit and you can have something really spectacular on your feet. Or you can just do a simple anklet like that, or even like a 3-layer one. Some of these are just one charm, like this one has a little seahorse on it. So they're kind of fun to do. There's some more here. Just for summer. Yes. And Laura's wearing denim and coral, so Jenny styled her with some coral jewelry and some coral on her hands. And me, I've got my normal stack that I've been wearing.
Your everyday go-to.
My everyday go-to, which I love.
Fuck you, be crying.
So today's drink is sort of like a summery drink, like I said. I started with a little honey around the top of the glass, and then I have some cinnamon sugar that I put there, and then I'm putting a little bit of peach schnapps. I'm not going to do a lot. You could do to however much you want, and this drink would be great made in a big pitcher too, and you could have it cold, chill it, and then have it ready to go. Be a perfect afternoon barbecue kind of thing. So I have some white wine here, and I'm gonna put that over. And then I'm actually gonna put some apple slices in there. And this is just some seltzer water, club soda, and I'm going to top it off with that. And my last bit of garnish is a cinnamon stick, which you can use then to stir. And it's looking pretty already, right?
It's very pretty.
There you go. Looks like summer in a glass.
It does.
I can smell that
Let me
peach.
try that.
Refreshing?
It is refreshing.
So, any more questions before we go? No more questions? No more comments?
I have yum and happy Friday.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Whoever said yum, try the drink.
Maria Jacoba.
Oh, nice. Hi,
Said
Maria. Hi, Maria. You got to try the drink. I know I have a lot of friends who love wine, so this is a really easy drink. Like I said, you could probably make it into a pitcher and just serve it as almost like a sangria kind of thing, But I think in individual glasses with the cinnamon sugar on top, it's kind of an interesting touch. And Laura, so this is Laura Batista, and can you give them your web address?
Yes. You can laurabatista.com. So that's LauraBatista.com. And you can send me an email, you can call me, send me a text message, and really looking forward to helping you out.
And I've actually tagged her in our live, so you can also leave her comments on here and she will see it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any comments or anything, you can find her on Facebook. She also has a Facebook page called Laura Batista
Organizing Services.
Okay, so those are some ways that you can find her and have her come and help you do some organization. We all can use some in our lives, so this is a very helpful, very unique kind of business and very personalized to you. So she'll be able to come over to you wherever you are and help you. Any other questions, comments?
No, love y'all.
Thanks everyone for watching. Please try our drink and come get some. Bye.
Bye.